always worthy of praise, and I don't have to be worthy. I don't have to be perfect because I can be forgiven. And that is the gospel story. That is the crux of the matter, and that we can receive forgiveness, and we don't have to be perfect. And in a world that says we need to be perfect and we need to do everything right and and never do anything wrong, don't make mistakes, that this is actually opposite of that. It says, no, you are going to make mistakes. You are going to mess up, but that it's okay because you can receive forgiveness. You can acknowledge your mistakes, acknowledge the sinfulness of your heart. It takes time to come to the point where being able to acknowledge our own sinfulness. It is hard to come to that point. It is hard to face that reality. It is very, very difficult to be humbled in that way. And sometimes that's what it takes to realize that we are powerless, and that it's AA is a great example of coming to the realization that we are powerless and that we need a higher power, and that is God, that is Jesus, God, that Jesus is God. Jesus is our higher power. Jesus is our Savior. Jesus is God in the flesh. Jesus is God who came to this earth as a substitution, to die on the cross as a substitution for our sin, where we deserved to be the ones dying. We deserve to be the ones being punished on the cross and being punished, going to hell forever, which is what we deserved, which is hard to come to that realization, to realize that every person deserves that because we are sinful and we don't compare ourselves to each other. That's not what we're going by. We are comparing ourselves to like a holy God who has no sin at all, who's created us. So in comparison to a holy God, we are even our good works are like filthy rags. They're worthless before a holy God that is completely without sin, that is completely righteous. And so I recently, this is a very, very simple way to put this, but I will say that this is it. This is how it goes. The strongest being that there is became weak to come here and walk amongst us. To come here and walk amongst us. And also, not only to walk amongst us, but to give his life to overthrow the hierarchy that is on the earth right now, of that the God of this earth is not, Jesus is not the God of this earth at this particular time, that the God of this earth is actually Satan, who is evil, and Jesus came here to overthrow that, not just the government. There's something greater behind our governments, behind all governments. There is a God of this earth who is Satan, who is evil, who is plotting to destroy, who is plotting to kill, steal, and destroy, who is evil, pure evil. And so Jesus came to set us free, set the captives free. Jesus came to overthrow the evil hierarchy of this earth. Jesus came to save us. And so when God looks at the earth and sees everything going on in the earth, we think sometimes when God is silent that it means that God is complicit with the evil that goes on in the earth, because we think God's not doing anything, God's not saying anything. But if we can put this, picture this in our minds, this analogy, that God is not silent, but God is literally sitting there, like holding his hands, like literally holding his hand back from striking out, from striking down the evil things that are going on in the world. He's holding back. And the reason he's holding back is because he's waiting for people to accept the sacrifice of Jesus, his son. He's waiting for people to accept Christ. And nothing is going to end until the right time.